Can't
Yeah,
wait for
let's do it.
today. Hey everybody. Okay, so we are live. I want you guys to number one, since we are on Facebook, if you see this on the channel, I want you to number one tune in. I want you to put in the comments where you're from. If you're from Atlanta, Florida, wherever you are, I want you to drop it in the comments. I also want you guys to share it to your communities. Women into Networking Win. I need y'all to pull up today as well. We are going to be talking to Josie, who is going to be coming as a speaker for our next meetup, y'all. When I say I'm excited about this, because I've been looking
Yeah.
for partners, people who are really excited about supporting women entrepreneurs in this space, supporting individual business owners who really need to have resources and tools, not just for their business, but for their actual life. Okay. And so I'm going to have Josie introduce herself, number one, and then we're going to get into the conversation of what she does. Josie, let everybody know who you are.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Josie Torres. I am just a regular degular. No, stop. I'm just a young lady who just loves to show people how to utilize and monetize off their insurance and helping them to make sure that they're properly protected from their personal to their property and their life, their kids, their family, their money, all of it. So I've been in the insurance industry for about 17 years now, and I'm just sharing with people some insight on how to save you money and how to make sure that you are properly protected in all areas. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm located in Atlanta, but I service most of the United States. So I'm very, very honored. Thank you so much, Allegra, for having me today.
Thank you so much, Josie. It's my honor to have you on because there's so many people. Like, I even called my mother earlier just a second ago, and I'm like, yo, I think you need some support, right? And it's because, Josie, you were already in a position to help, to offer. And so I'm just happy that I can bring you as a resource to the community so that they can get to know more about what you do. Now, can we talk about the importance of it? Because I met you, shout out to the Society of Black Agents at the Russell
Soba.
Center.
Woo. That's
I
right.
met you
Shout
there.
out Soba.
Seriously, you gotta
Yeah.
like be in the right rooms, right? This is about community, and we talk about this all the time. Shout out to Soba, shout out to Russell Center, and but if like we bet on ourselves every day, we show up in the world, and because of that, I was able to meet you. I saw you in the front row. Y'all better
Mhm.
sit in the front row because it matters.
It does matter.
I saw her in the front row, and I was like, you. I don't know what it was. It's something about you, the way you presented yourself, the way you were in the room. But I didn't know that you had so much connection and knowledge about the industry that you helped so many people with figuring out how to save money and not be stressed around their decision making.
Yeah.
So I would love for you to talk a little bit about that for community members who are looking for support. Life insurance, we talked about that. We talked about something where it came down to utilizing the bank versus your insurance. We talked
Oh, yeah.
about
Yeah.
how to
All
be
the
a better
strategies.
insurance agent. So tell the people what you want them to know about some of the things
Wow.
they can benefit from.
So look, I gotta take my glasses off because I gotta think without them. So here's the importance, right? The importance of insurance. Insurance is just not another bill. Okay, it's not about, oh, in case something happens. It's more of an investment to protect the things that can possibly happen. And so I look at it as, depending on what you're insuring, like most people have iPhones or Samsungs or cell phones, period, right? And you insure your phone, right? But you could also replace your phone. If it's not insured, you just go buy another phone. And you make a small investment, as you would probably call it, and just go buy another phone and move on. Download it, whatever you had on there, great, you back to normal again.
Mhm.
When we think about insuring yourself, it's a different aspect. You think of it as a bill, like, oh, I don't want to pay that, but you pay to insure your phone. So the majority of insurance for your cell phone now is probably about $20 to $30 a phone for
Mhm.
insurance. 'Cause it's gone up for sure. I have four phones, I know. They all have insurance. Okay. They all have insurance, and it's about $20 a phone. So just imagine if you can insure your life to protect yourself and the burden of leaving a bill behind to your family for $20 a month. Are you not just
Mm.
as a cell phone? I think if anything, you're more than a cell phone, right? So insurance is looked at as something that is just so tedious, it's boring, it's nothing that anybody really wants to like zone in on and talk about. It looks like an empty investment or another bill that you're paying. You're not going to see any return on it. Where I help people to understand that life insurance is totally separate. Life insurance is not just because, oh, if you die, then you have life insurance. No, life insurance is actually really insuring your life. So if something did happen to you while you were alive, there's things called living benefits, right? If you're critically, chronically, or terminally ill, you can use the benefit of your life insurance as a cash advance to help support you financially. And that's a big thing because if something happens to someone, like if they got cancer and they have a life insurance with living benefits, then they're able to say, well, you're going to go to chemo, you don't have the same energy, you can't work, right? Then you can use the cash advance on your life insurance to help support your bills. Or let's say, for instance, I have a friend who has ESRD, which is end stage renal failure. And that is a person who goes to dialysis 3 times a week. So that's again, it's draining. You're there for 4 or 5 hours a day, 3 days a week. You can't really work a full time job. You don't have the same um, capacity to be able to sustain your income like you once did because you now have a critical illness or a chronic illness or even a terminal illness like a stage 4 cancer that, you know, how are you going to support yourself? So, what I help people to understand, insurance is not something that you just have it and something happens to you, your family gets rich off of. That's not always the case. Because if it's not properly structured, because I'm all about the structure, if it's not properly structured, your family's just going to spend that money anyway. And they're not going to do the right thing by it. They're probably going to sell the house or move the car. Who cares about the debt? And they're going to get the money and they're just going to keep going. Right. So, what we do is what I built up in my company is to be able to show people how to utilize insurance, but not only just utilize it, but actually use it to help circulate an income for yourself long term. So
Mm.
we look at 4 different areas, just 4 different pillars, right? We look at what do you have for health insurance? What do you have today that helps you today, right? Health insurance is something that takes care of your health. So just like anything else, you have health insurance, whether you have it through your job, whether you have it through the marketplace, the exchange, Obamacare, whatever you want to call it. If you have Medicaid, if you have Medicare, whatever kind of health insurance that you have, the health insurance doesn't pay you. You actually
Mm.
pay the health insurance, and the health insurance then pays the doctors. Maybe 100%, right? But then there's also things like co-pays and co-insurance, that things that you're going to have to pay out of pocket. So there's other things that help to supplement that expense. So that's basically what I do is take you down through the 4 pillars of what do you have for health insurance, right? See where you're spending your money for health insurance right now. What does that look like for you? What are your out of pocket expenses? And where can you save the money? The other thing is that we take you down to something that you would need on a maybe a long term or tomorrow care, not something that's immediate. Like, do you have any cancer or strokes or heart attack that runs in your family that you may need to put in a lump sum benefit for yourself? Because let's be realistic, cancer is not something that is just is discriminative. It is not. It happens from the ages of 0 to 100. It doesn't matter, right? And if especially if you have cancer in your family, then you're at a higher risk of getting some sort of cancer. And even if you don't have cancer in your family, it may be in the things that we consume,
Yeah.
right? Whether it's food, whether it's your cellular, the environment, period. It just doesn't matter. Cancer is something that's just out there. And statistics show that cancer is relative to every 1 in 2 men will have some sort of form of cancer, and one
Wow.
in every 3 women. So if you're 2 men in a room, one of you have the possibility 50% of getting some sort of cancer, whether it's skin, blood, bone, organ cancer, any kind of cancer, it doesn't matter. So I educate on what could possibly be depending on family history. You may need some kind of coverage that could help to sustain you if you had a long-term illness that is going to interrupt your income. So let's
Mhm.
face it, right? Everything that we talk about is insurance, but the insurance is to help you to supply you with a support to a missing component, which would be income.
Wow.
Your money would be missing somewhere, right? If you got sick, the doctors are going to get paid, are they not? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Had a terminal illness, your health insurance is going to pay your doctors. Thank you, Lord. You have some health insurance. But then what happens to your money,
Yeah.
your income? If you don't have a job and you're an entrepreneur, then you don't have a short term disability plan that you can take off some days, and you don't have PTO, and you definitely don't have anybody who's going to say, hey, you know what, let's give you a severance because you're not going to be able to work anymore. No, you're on your own. So I look at a person's four spaces. So you look at today, what you may happen to you sometime in between the time before you head out the door. So your
Mm-hmm.
final expenses, which is your, your goodbye, what you leave behind to your loved ones is either life insurance, how to protect your home with mortgage protection, and homeowners insurance, right? Because you protect your home too. If it burns
Mm-hmm.
down, what
Mm-hmm.
happens? Place to live. So we got to make sure, you get some homeowners insurance that's going to supply you with an expense to be able to support you if something happened to your home. Car insurance, where can you save money? So that way you actually have the proper insurance in the event you got sick, hurt, or passed away.
Wow.
That's the spew. And then the fourth space is, what are you doing to protect your money?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because there's insurance for money too, right? You make money, you spend the money, but do you protect the money?
Mm.
How do you protect the money? You protect the money by putting it in places where the money can actually make money for you,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we talk about things like index universal, another life insurance policy gives you life insurance, gives you long-term care benefits, and then also, I'm sorry, living benefits, and then it also gives you protection for your money because now
That's what we talked about earlier, right?
you got to move your money in a place where you got to put it in a place where your money's going to actually be protected. So let me give you an example of entrepreneurs because I work with a lot of business owners, and a lot of business owners, they don't always like, when I say business owners, we're talking about our, average mom and pop type of business where they're like, I have this product, I sell this product or service, and I make my money, and I take my money and I spend my money and my expenses for the business or for my personal stuff, so on and so on.
Mm-hmm.
What they don't do is actually protect the money that they have coming in. So those are the things that we look at Vontara One. That's what I look at.
Mm-hmm.
I have Allstate, one of the great companies that I work with for auto and home, and then I have a list of other carriers that I work with when it comes down to protecting your health, protecting your life, and protecting your money. Okay,
Wow.
so yeah, so that's pretty much what it looks like from the four pillar standpoint. But I want to give you an example of someone that I'm going to give you two examples. One, I'm going to give you an example of an entrepreneur, of someone who just has a hustle, has a business. They think they're
Oh, I know
entrepreneurs.
a lot of those. No.
They're just hustlers, right? They think they have a business, but they're just hustlers. They just hustling. They don't really have no business. They're just like, listen, I got this thing, I'm selling it, whether it's plates, whether it's candles, whatever it is. They're just selling it. They make the money, they take the money back, buy the product again, and they just it's on a repeat, but they really don't have a business. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When a like let's say for instance like Walmart has is a business. So Walmart has a structure. I'm the company, I got a president, vice president, manager, associates, down the line, right? Helpers, truckers, whatever. They got all these things that happen in Walmart. And I love to use Walmart for an example because it's such a big entity. But Walmart also provides them with insurance. In the Walmart business, they supply their employees with insurance.
Oh.
They insure the building, they insure their building for sure. They insure their business, which is
Mm-hmm.
business insurance. They insure the managers, the president with health insurance, life insurance. They provide insurance because they know that if this person was not going to be able to work, they need to be able to insure them,
Yeah.
to
Wow.
replace them or help them get better so they can come back to work.
Wow.
Right. So Walmart has insurance on everything and everybody in it that qualifies for their coverage.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at yourself as a business owner, if you look at yourself as a Walmart, you have to have all these stages as well. When you're a solopreneur, you are the company, you are the president, you are the vice president, you're the administrator, you're the inventory check, you're the producer, you're the processor, you're the delivery, you're the,
The janitor.
yeah, right, you're the everything, you're everything. You're just everything in it. So when you're a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, you have to learn how to protect your business. So you need business insurance. You got to protect the vehicle that drives you to and from where you get everything. You got to protect the space that you are living because you may be working outside of your home or your apartment. That's protection. You have to protect that too because your equipment, like my computer, my phones, my laptops, my screens, everything has to have some sort of protection because if it goes down, I got to replace it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a business. You have to protect yourself and your health because God forbid if you couldn't work, God forbid you got sick and you couldn't work and you couldn't produce in your business, what do you have to protect it? What about protecting the money that comes in?
Mm-hmm.
You have to have some sort of driver that drives the money to create interest for you as well because banks are not giving you what you think they're giving you. I
Mm-hmm.
got like 12 cents from my bank, gave me like 1 penny a
I
month.
ain't never seen a dime.
Personal accounts. I was like,
Like
ooh, that
your
hurt.
savings return on your cash advance, 12 cents.
Like 12 cents. Like I can't even buy a pack of gum with 12 cents, right? And I have my money in there all year long. So those are the things that I look at. So I look at an entrepreneur and I say, okay, well, how are you taking care of you today? Because your health is going to be your wealth. If you don't have health insurance, you don't have dental, vision. I mean, you can function, but you're going to break down. Your body is only, just as much as it can handle. It's going to break down eventually. So you're going to check see what you have for health insurance. Can I help you save as much money as possible on the health insurance and your out of pocket expenses with health insurance there? Then that shows me, okay, now if we save you money here, okay, now we put a whole picture together in a budget. What about long term? Maybe you're not a young entrepreneur and you're a little older. You might want to think about long term care. God
Mm-hmm.
forbid. Okay, let's protect your home. Protect if you have small children. In the event your income is interrupted, you have a protection that's going to be able to help you withdraw money from it, which
Yeah.
is fixed annuities, savings accounts, high yield savings, IULs, things like that. They're going to help you to produce money on its. You're going to protect your money, protect your family, and protect your income all in one bucket. Like, why wouldn't you do that? So a lot of people think as when you're an entrepreneur that it's not affordable. It's not something I can afford.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where partnerships come in, like yours and mine, and like the other folks that we talk to. And when we talk about affordability, we look at you as a whole house.
Mm-hmm.
What does your financial house look like? So that way we can say, oh, okay, well, you have health insurance, you have life insurance, tax write-off,
Yep.
right? Wonderful. Oh, you have homeowners, you have this. Well, how much of your home do you use for your business? There's a third of that tax write-off,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay, great. You know what? I'm using my personal stuff. I'm funding my business this way. Okay, well, you know what? We build your business credit. So now, guess what? Your business has tax write-offs.
Mm-hmm.
You're not using your personal money. So there's a whole strategy that comes into place when you look at it from a holistic standpoint. So yes, you need your home protected and your auto because it's mandated by the state of Georgia. You have to have auto insurance. And if you don't have car insurance,
Now,
in the bookings for a night or two. I don't know.
wait,
Some
put
jail
us out in no type of trouble
money.
now.
We don't want no
Look,
trouble.
first of all, Josie, thank you for explaining all that. Now, I hope y'all took notes, mainly because I think a lot of this, and thank y'all for joining me over here as well. I think a lot of this is, for me, what came up is a lot of the mindset around what it is that is being offered opposed to what's being said. I love the way you put it because the truth is, if you're paying insurance on every device you have, right? But you're not paying insurance on the person using it, just like make it make sense, right?
It makes sense.
And I love how you can actually put this as a holistic view because sometimes I think we have a problem with deciding one thing versus another thing. But what how
Mhm.
you explained it is you have these four pillars that looks at everything, gives you a very a clear viewpoint on what direction do I need to go with the money I have, with where I'm wanting to land, where I'm wanting to end up. And so I think that's powerful. So I'm telling y'all, make sure number one, I see you, Rico, I see you, Chi Chi, and anyone here, Nisa, I saw you popped
Mhm.
on. We are doing a meetup on August 20th, which
Yes,
Josie will
August
be.
20th.
Yes, Josie's going to be coming in the building. When you guys hear these things about what Josie is saying, right? We tell you to don't just let it go over your head, right? Actually
Mhm.
listen to what's being said, which means that a lot of the things that we are doing, like I told Josie, I've seen people spend hundreds of dollars on dinner, but complain about getting a life insurance policy,
Mhm.
which from what you said is going to pay you back. It's going to give you your return. And
Yes.
I think that is a mentality that needs to be adapted into. So that's why I tell anyone who's listening to this, listen to it again and again and again, because it really doesn't make sense if you think about it to not put your money where it's going to be invested and protected as a CEO. Now, if you're an employee and you work in a job and that's a different, sometimes you're not really rushed to do stuff because your job has the insurance. I've
Right.
seen people do that. They're like, I'm good. I don't need the insurance. I'm good. But
Mhm.
you do need car insurance. You do need car insurance, and it may save you the bundle. But outside of that, also, I want to emphasize before we give you guys our last final thoughts and call to action, I want to emphasize that if you are a business owner, you should not be playing with your stuff. You should not be waiting for someone to save you or waiting for someone to tell you what to do. That's not what we do in business. We go after the things that's going to protect our assets. And so that's what we're presenting today. Josie, what do you think they need to be doing in their next step right now?
I think, listen, I think anybody who has a business, small or large, doesn't matter. And even like people who are looking to retire, is to actually, what I think you should do, of course, is to, get a a session, join my concierge session, book me to just go over. It's a free consultation. We take about 15 minutes and we go through, what that looks like for you, answer some questions, take a review of your policy, of your current policy, to see where you are. We can highlight what it is that you're looking to save money on. And we can start with car, we can start with home, we can start with your renters, we can start with your life, we can start with your pets. You believe that? You don't have pit bull insurance? Stop playing. Like people don't even insure pit bulls, right? I got pit bull insurance. Okay, just like anybody got a bully, pit bull, whatever that's not insurable, I got that for you. So the first thing you should do is really just send me an email, send me give me a call, or text me on the number. I think it's over here, right? Okay, I see.
Mhm.
Right. You can call me at 404-966-4488. I'd be more than happy to answer questions. You can pick my brain. I give you 15 minutes of my time just to pick at what you need. And then we kind of come up with, some action steps to help you fulfill what it is that you need. So yeah, I'm looking just to help anybody who's in need of that part.
Wow, thank you for saying that. 404-966-4488 for anyone who couldn't hear it on this side. And we'll also be airing the replay of this. The email is available for you guys here for Josie, jtorres22 at allstate.com. When you listen to this again, feel free to comment, right? Put in the chat I mean, tag somebody that you know need some insurance, okay?
Listen, I
Because
want to I want to leave you with something, because people insure the things they love and the people they love. If you love somebody, you want to make sure they have the proper protection. If you love
yeah.
them, you're going to make sure that they have the proper protection. And if you truly love somebody, you don't want to leave them with a burden or a headache in any aspect. Same thing with your family in a vehicle. You don't want to leave your family uninsured in a vehicle or underinsured. in a car. God forbid if something happened, you want to make sure like you're going to get the best coverage for your family, but also financially efficient for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, so people insure what and who they love.
No, I was gonna say that's good because I thought about this, and we'll end with this part. And I want you to give them some words of encouragement before we dip out. And guys, make sure you get her contact info because we will be meeting in person on August 20th. But if you guys can't make it on August 20th to meet Josie, at least you have her information. But it reminded me of when I heard someone say they insured their family members for them.
Oh, I do it all the time.
Yeah, just y'all need this. That's the conversation, right? Like
Yeah,
how do I? Because think about it, right?
I do it all
And
the
I,
time.
and I love the fact that sometimes money I think is a fear factor for people. They're afraid to spend money on things they're unsure about.
Hmm.
If you love your family members and you love the people around you, you already know that they need it.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
and if you can be the one to do that for them, I think that that's attainable
Hmm.
too. I wanted to ask you about that, Josie, and I think
Oh,
that's a
yeah,
conversation for maybe we'll bring it in the August 20th event where
yeah.
people can learn how to insure their family and friends, people that they love,
Hmm.
and know that, I mean, there's a benefit to that
Yeah.
monetarily.
Oh, mine. Oh, absolutely. So I'll leave you with that just to touch on that really quickly.
Good.
Like I personally insure my mother, all three of my two children and my granddaughter, my brother, his children, because some people don't believe in insurance. Not saying that my family doesn't, but I want to make sure
Yeah.
that God forbid if anything happened to them, that I have the money to be able to take care of that.
Yeah.
Because GoFundMe is not an option for me,
Yeah.
especially when insurance is so cheap. Like literally, my brother's 38 years old.
Hmm.
Oh, well, 39, sorry. Excuse me, sorry for putting his age out there. But just really quick example. My brother's 39 years old, and I got him like $150,000 for 30 years, less than $22.
That's good. But 30, that's I used to sell insurance, y'all. Like that's really good. For a whole
Yeah. No, for a term for 30
full time.
years.
Okay, okay,
Because,
got
I mean, he's got a
well,
lot of
at
kids.
39.
He's got 4 kids, right?
Right.
But this is what I did. I gifted my kids and my nephews. I gifted them all $25,000 whole life policies, and I literally paid less than $6, $60 a month for 25,000 of whole life
Yep.
for them, and that's a cash value policy, and that's a policy that's going to grow money along with time that they can take out and use. We can buy them a car with it when they turn 18. We can pay for college when they turn 18. You can invest in their business ideas if they wanted to become entrepreneurs at that age. So because they're so young, I mean, my youngest one is 1, and between 1 and 11, I've got 6 small kids that now they have life insurance. And the other thing is my mom is important, right? Because your parents, they're on a fixed income. If your parents are on a fixed income, take $50, get a $10,000, $15,000 policy, because when the time comes, you're gonna look for it. You're gonna look for the money, and then you're gonna be like, wow, I went out and I paid hookah for $50.
Mm-hmm.
And you
That's
probably did that
you
twice or 3 times a month.
$50.
Okay?
That
$50.
goes fast. But listen,
Yeah.
Josie, I want them to get a taste, and then I want them to contact you. So y'all, listen, contact Josie, get her information now, and also I know that if you guys work with Josie, that will be the difference. The difference is, going to get insurance or being guided to get insurance. I think there's a huge difference there. Josie, any final words of encouragement you would like to leave with them today?
I'm gonna say that self-love is super important. It's a stage where we are in life where people look for love in so many different places, but if you really truly love yourself, you will make sure that you take a deep dive in what your financial portfolio looks like and
Mm,
where you're spending your money and actually allocating your money in the right place, because that's really your birthright. Your birthright is to be rich, and not just on a financial level, but also on a spiritual level where you're intentional about where you spend your money and where you put your money. And if you truly, truly love yourself, then you will take out some time to look at those things and align yourself with somebody who can guide you.
Yeah.
Whether it's me or maybe you find someone else, another financial literal person that could help you to understand financial literacy. But financial literacy is a huge self love aspect because what is most of our struggles are financial. They're financial struggles. Whether you don't make enough or you spend too much, you have bad habits. So if you really love yourself enough, then just book a session with me. Let me show you how you can actually really, really monetize off the dollars that you make from work or from your business and protect the things and the people that you love.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Josie. You
Yeah.
guys have an amazing evening. We will see you back here on the next live stream for Women into Networking Win. And yeah, just watch for the replays, and we'll see you guys August 20th. Have a
Thank
great
you,
night.
Allegra. Bye, guys.
Josie.